address the board and the comment.
Okay, thanks. Before I start, I want to say when I first came here, I didn't use any notes to speak. I was an instructor for public speaking, and I just normally don't feel I'm in a pretty good comfort zone to speak, but this has been such a personal tragedy that I jotted down a few notes tonight and I put them on some index cards. When I walked in and I saw every full-time member of my police department there, with the exception, I think, of one guy who was having major arm surgery tomorrow morning. I took it and I put it in the shredder because everything I'm going to say to you tonight's from here. So it may not all be in order. First of all, I would like to apologize to the Board of Selectmen, to the town manager, to all the town employees, including my own and fire department, EMS, and then to the entire community affairs. I let you down as a police chief. My actions were reckless. They were unprofessional, and they were not what you deserve of your police chief. I will provide no excuses, all right? I am not going to tell a sad story about the night before, the week before, the month before, because you know what, it doesn't matter. I'm held to a higher standard, I understand that. So I will provide no excuses for that night. I do apologize. I apologize to the community. I apologize most of all, not only for the individual action, but that it's been such a big distraction to the town and to my own guys, my own officers, and Shirley. I have had a million thoughts go through my head as to what I would do with something like this, because all I can tell you is that it was a human mistake. Yes, I'm a police officer, but I'm human. And I made a mistake. And I made a mistake on November 20th into November 21st. I have been, I think, honest as anyone could be from the very time it happened. I reported it immediately to the town manager. I was open and cooperative with the Kennebec County Sheriff's Department, who conducted the internal investigation. And I was as open and honest in the criminal proceedings. I saw one thing that said that I was fighting my license suspension. I was not fighting my license suspension. I requested hearing, and I encourage anyone who has to go through a process and the process of law to take advantage of that process of law. And I wanted my hearing so that any additional information could come out. The hearing was held, and I am now serving my license suspension, and I have paid my fines already. I've attended all the courses I've had to attend, and I did not ask for a delay in my license suspension. I don't like it. It's certainly not convenient for me, and I just want to put it by me and move forward. But most of all, I want to have the ability to have these guys move forward so that we can continue to do what we've done as a police department over the last almost 2 years now. On the advice of my attorney, and in accordance with the Paris Personnel Manual, I have still been asked not to discuss the specifics of the incident. So I am going to hold to that, and there are a lot of reasons for that. Other than to say, I pled guilty, I was guilty. I apologize to the Cumberland County Sheriff's Department, and again, I have no excuses. I would like to move forward. I will do my what's coming to me, so to speak, but I still think there's a lot of good things to do. Now, I saw two things that concerned me during this. I said the first one, fighting the license suspension, so I guess there's three. The second one was that somehow by calling my men together, I was coercing them. All right, it was my intent to call the rank and file together because that's what a leader should do, and I believe that. It was my intent to tell them, as their leader, exactly what happened before they read it in the newspaper or saw it on television or heard it in the coffee shop. I think that's the respect I owe them. They have given me that respect since we've been here. Now, yes, I am the employer, they are the employee. The days of I don't like what you have to say or I'm gonna put you on a different shift are over. If that occurred here, that doesn't occur now. And they know that. I've had each and every one of them, every single one of them, I wanna say the reserves included, in my office on professional and private issues that either they have had or concerns that they have had. And we've gone through those, I've kept them confidential. And what happens in my office stays in my office, whether I like it or not. You know what, they're not getting moved to a different shift the next day because that's how we do business over there now. And I don't think that any one of them would say that it's any different, but if they do, they do, and they're allowed to do that because that's how we run the Paris Police Department. We're a team, and we have to be a team, because if something happens here tonight, you know, I'm seeing CNN and everything that's going on tonight in other parts of the country. This is who's gonna be out there right here, and I'm gonna be with them. All right, we're a team, yeah, I'm the head coach, so to speak, but I carry a badge and a gun too. And I have walked in the woods with a couple of these guys on some raids, and we've been back to back, watching each other as we go through. In order to have a cohesive team, we need to be able to communicate both ways. And that's why I called them in my office. So if anybody wants to say, oh, well, you know, you can't do that, well, then I will take my ball and go home, because I would do it the same way. I feel that I should be able to communicate with them directly up front and as soon as humanly possible, so they know at least my side of the story. And as for the last thing that I wanted to address that I saw out there that was just, you know, totally incorrect, it was an email that I got, and it was not many emails, it was just one. But somebody said in that email that you have a pension from Connecticut, so maybe you came here to Maine as a retirement and are just not taking this seriously enough because of what happens. I assure you that since I've come here 2 years ago, there has been some great, great personal sacrifice. I have lost a family member who did not want to change cultures. I have an 88-year-old mother who lives down there 280 miles away. She fell about 6 months ago, and she had a back operation, and she was just diagnosed just this past 2 weeks ago with lymphatic cancer. I'm human. Do I feel a little guilty that I left, and am I taking care of her, or could I have been there, or could I be there? Of course I do. If you think that I'm drinking to get over this, well, my boss will tell you, sick days, I've taken them for skin cancer, and I took them to go see my mother when she had the operation, and that's it. I don't call in sick, I don't come in late, and I stay here late. So I don't even take lunch. You know, I just wanted to address that. I take this very seriously, and I have had a lot of personal sacrifice. I do have a pension. Why didn't I take my ball and go home? Because that's the gutless way out. I paid the penalty, I'm facing all of you here tonight, and I stayed, and I'm trying to fight through it. I have I have the most respect in the world for these guys right here who I lead. I think out of all the units I've ever commanded in 30 years of police work, these guys, I would put them up against all of them. They are the best. But we're not done. If you look at what this police department was like when I first got here 2 years ago, and the way we do things today, I see the difference. Hopefully everyone else does too. I know that some people have lost respect now and cannot get it back. I understand that. But I am not finished, and I do not walk out on something that is halfway done or 3/4 done. This police department, we have a lot of other plans to go. I have a mother and a father whose child was hit by a car We're gonna make an arrest in that case. It may not be tomorrow, and it may not be next week, but we're confident we have suspects, and we have now new information, and I'm confident that we're gonna get there, and I wanna see it through. We have drug investigations that are ongoing and multiplying. We're working with MDEA, we're working with the Oxford County Sheriff's Department. So I think there's a lot that still needs to be done. And in closing, I do want to say that I do thank all the people, and I'm not going to mention anyone specific, because I know you stuck your neck out there, but from the state and from the county and from the town who did support me through this whole thing. I have more letters than I could ever know what to do with. And if I was going to fight this, or, you know, and it's over, but if I was to have done that, I would have taken all of this and said, well, you know, here's my red nut. I did wrong, I messed up, and I'm ready to take my lumps. And I guess that's it. I don't think I really have anything else to say. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thanks.
We're ready to move on to number 7.